Hey there. Today we are starting part one of this week's story. It's called A Summer's Trade, and it starts on page 264 in your Reading Street book. So if you don't have that Reading Street book, please stop the video for a second and find it so that you can follow right along with me. When we look on page 264, there with the title and the author, we also have the genre. And this week, the genre is realistic fiction. So that's a story about characters and situations that seem real, but they actually come from the author's imagination. So as you read, notice how the story's events give rise to the ending. That's what we'll be noticing. And remember our question for this week, why do people make sacrifices to help other people? Because that's going to be a pretty big part of this story. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the page and get started with reading. Make sure you're following along with me, please. A dusty pickup bounced along the rutted dirt road on the Navajo Indian Reservation outside of Gallup, New Mexico. The early morning sun brought out deep red hues in nearby rocks and yellows and purples on distant mesas. In the passenger seat, Tony barely noticed how the ride jostled him. He had made this long trip to Gallup with his mother many times. This morning, Tony daydreamed about spending some of his summer days at home on the reservation instead of going into Gallup. He would ride with his father, helping to tend the family's roaming flocks of sheep and goats. But Tony needed a saddle before he could sit for hours on the back of a pony. In the trading post next door to the restaurant where his mother was a waitress, Tony had discovered a beautiful used saddle for sale. Its dark leather was worn smooth, and there were small nuggets of turquoise laced into the rawhide braid wrapped around the horn. Mr. Hilson, the owner of the trading post, invited Tony to help out around the store. In payment, Mr. Hilson put $20 a week into an account for him. As soon as he earned enough money, Tony wanted to buy that saddle. He hoped no one else bought it first. "Here we are," said his mother as she parked in front of the trading post. Tony got out and slammed the truck door. The high desert wind fluttered the bandana covering his straight black hair. "Come see me at lunchtime," his mother said. Tony waved as she walked toward the restaurant. The bell on the door jingled as Tony walked into the trading post. "Good morning, Tony," said Mr. Hilson. "Today, I need you to unpack some canned goods and stack them carefully on the store shelves. Then you can sweep out the storage area. It's really dusty back there." "Okay, Mr. Hilson." The trading post did a lot of business. Tourists came to buy Indian-made goods such as baskets, pottery, turquoise jewelry, and colorful woven rugs. Regular customers could buy or trade for just about anything they needed. Navajos could trade or pawn their jewelry in exchange for cash. Some did it because they needed money. Many did it because they wanted their turquoise jewelry to be safe in the trading post vault until they needed it for ceremonial wear. Tony worked hard. There was always sweeping to do. Unpacking boxes and stacking things on shelves was a regular job too. If Mr. Hilson was busy, Tony could help customers. He knew where to find everything that was stocked in the trading post. At lunchtime, Tony went next door as usual. He sat on a tall stool at the counter. Clattering dishes, chattering voices, and cooking aromas filled the air. Merle's Diner was always busy. As customers ate, Navajo craftsmen took turns coming in from their vendor stands outside to move among the tables, offering their jewelry and art for sale. Sometimes Tony's grandmother did that too. One day a week, she came to Gallup with him and his mother to see his aunt's handcrafted silver necklaces and rings, set with turquoise and coral stones. After lunch, Tony returned to the trading post. The first thing he saw was a skinny man in worn denims and a black hat looking at saddles. The man picked up the saddle Tony wanted. "How much for this, Mr. Hilson?" he called out. "That one's 75, Mr. Hilson answered. The man put the saddle down, but kept rubbing its smooth leather. Tony held his breath. Finally, the man moved away. That afternoon, Tony spent some time straightening the traditional Navajo rugs displayed on wooden rods in the trading post. With their complex patterns, the rugs took months to design and complete. Tony's grandmother wove rugs and had a loom outside her hogan. When he was younger, Tony had spent many days at grandmother's side, watching her work. While she wove, she told Tony stories about the ancient days of the Navajo people, or Diné. He learned about the sacredness of the turquoise mountain towering in the sky to the east. He learned about Changing Woman and how her twin sons killed many monsters to save people. He loved the story of how Sunbearer first brought horses to the people. On the drive home after work, they passed Tony's aunt's trailer and grandmother's nearby hogan. "Look, my uncle is home early," said Tony. "There's his truck." "I wonder what that's about," said his mother. "I guess we'll find out tomorrow when we pick up grandmother." Tony's uncle worked many miles away in Chinle, Arizona. His job was driving tourists through Canyon de Chelly to visit the many ancient Anasazi ruins there. See, even Miss Hill makes mistakes every once in a while. That's where we're stopping for today, is 271. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you finish your CAMI questions for this part, and we will pick up here tomorrow. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.